Hello and welcome back to the Mobius Archives. This is your host Mobius Rex, and we are playing Kerbal Space Program. Now you might notice that there's a little flag on the ground by our launch pad, and that's just so that from orbit we can actually get an icon out here when we're flying about that we have the Kerbal Space Center right here, really close to us, and that we can aim for that to get better recovery. We're not going to worry about that too much today. We want to go to the moon. Our last flyby of the moon was done on the Moonshot 2. This is the Moonshot 2. You can see that it had 28 parts, 28 of 30 parts. We're still at the 30 maximum part, so we want to do this up a little bit better. So we made something, the Moonshot 3. Love how it rotated there. So we gave this a little bit more stuff. It's 30 of 30 parts, 41 tons, but we do have four, count them, four solid fuel booster engines right at the bottom there. Note that there are no struts here, so we're going to have to be, well, we're going to have to expect bad things to happen because we're maxed out at 30 parts. We have a larger upper stage engine here. That's the whole point of getting these solid fuel boosters, an extra solid fuel booster, is so that we can push this into orbit and hopefully get a bit farther. So let's bring Valentina on for her pass at the moon. Alright, so far so good. Let's just check our staging. Yeah, that wasn't right. And I want to make sure your staging is right before you launch. You want your liquid fuel engine, this one down here, to activate at the same time as your solid fuel boosters, just to give you a little bit more control. Alright, let's launch. Alright, good enough. Have fun, Valentina. So we do get a lot of thrust from these solid fuel boosters. We're just trying to tip over a little bit so these things don't crush the landing pad. And good, we did not have any problems with them. No. Whoa, we're having turbulence. Turbulence! Not sure what that was, but that looked like turbulence to me. And I'm just trying to keep this under control as we head up into the atmosphere. And just trying to keep us over onto... Oh, why don't I just keep you like that? Now that you tipped over, follow Prograde. You can help us drive. Alright. See how far we're going. 26. And I'll just keep you controlled ascent. Alright, it switched over to orbit, and we're trying to flatten ourselves out a bit more, just so that we're not wasting too much in atmosphere. Our engine should be enough to get us into orbit, but with the extra weight from the larger fuel tank, I don't know how far we might be able to get. But cut our engines there, that'll at least get us out of the atmosphere, and we'll just drift forward a bit. Alright, leaving the atmosphere here, a few seconds towards getting to our apoapsis, so we want to go completely off course. What's going on? Get back there. I must have been a little too heavy on the controls there. We'll just push this in front of us. We want to stay slightly up so that that apoapsis can push out more, especially when we lose this stage. There we go. Pushing a lot less mass. There we go. Apoapsis moving in front of us. Took a lot of effort. Might have just botched that. I'm just going to get this even further in front of us. Not ideal, I think. There we go. It seems to be stabilizing around here, this angle, which will allow us to get into orbit, hopefully, with the amount of fuel that we have. Alright, getting towards orbit now. And there we go. 82 by 70. Not bad. Alright, that gives us a nice stable orbit, and we can start targeting the moon. Alright, ascending node is off by 1.5, descending node is off by 1.5. We could just adjust that. Add a maneuver here. Drag ourselves down a bit. If I could actually read the text. 0.6. 0.4. There goes 0. That's our target. Looks like we are consuming a bit of battery power. Alright, let's turn SAS off. We won't be draining our power that way, and we'll just wait until we reach that maneuver node. We actually warp to the next maneuver. Give us a little second. It's a 1 second burn, so we can just feather that. And don't really need it. We'll just watch this slowly, gently. Chain. Alright. Have that ascending node right. Our moon is right there. So we pretty much want to set up and maneuver about 90 degrees to the moon, if I'm correct. Add a maneuver here, and just accelerate along that vector, whoop, and head out into interstellar space. No, we want to get captured by said moon and go into an orbit. If at all possible. Now we have an encounter. We could fiddle with this. Try to get as close a moon periapsis as we can. And usually it just takes a little bit of sliding back and forth here. Find an ideal, or better, periapsis. Under 20,000. You can fiddle around with it around here. Alright, lunar periapsis at 95,000 is what we have set up right here. And we should be able to do it. Let's find out. It's a 26-second burn in 20 minutes. And this one's pretty easy. It's just pushing prograde. I might have missed it by a little bit, but we'll find out. Alright, approaching. And slow down just to get us into capture here. Trying to look at a few too many things, I think. And something happened, please. There we go. Let's see. Lunar periapsis, 190,000. Not bad. If we gently goes down, if we thrust a bit more, 36,000 should do us nicely. Hit F5 and hope everything goes well. Alright, I'm going to manually accelerate time just to get us a little bit closer and see what's going on when we actually have our encounter with the moon. Sometimes this is just a bit more wonky than it seems up here. We are looping kind of weirdly through the moon here. That might not be particularly ideal. We'll find out. Alright, actually not terrible at all. We want to wait for him retrograde in about an hour. And do a retrograde thrust. Why not? Let's see if there's any science we could do this far away from the moon. As Valentina reorients herself for a retrograde burn. She's looking excited. She's going to accelerate time till we're close to the periapsis. It'll bring us onto the dark side of the moon. Not ideal. But as long as we don't shoot past. It's a bit hard on that. Retrograde vector, please. And with about 45 seconds to go, let's start burning. That should very quickly get us into a capture orbit. Now I want our apoapsis to come down just about there. 45, 16. 16 might be a bit low for what we want. Not sure how high things are on the moon, but what's happened? Achieve orbit around the moon, gets us 13,000 funds and 3 reputation, and orbiting the moon gives us 76,000 funds reward. Nice. That's F5 here because we don't want to crash into a mountain. Alright. Let's see what we can do. Goo? Question mark? In space near the moon? We can keep that data. Materials Bay. So I'm sorry that everything's dark here. we can turn on her lights. Not that that helps much right there. Lighting up the antenna. Alright, just collecting all the data from our current science experiments. Take that data here and store everything. Store experiments in there. Nice. Now, can we do one more EVA report? Above the moon's east crater. Whoops, come on. Grab that, thank you. And store that. And we're probably could get a lot of science just by doing EVA reports up here. So we're in Moon Highlands, and just storing that in a capsule. And there's Kerbal Rise. And just rotating this around so that we can see what Valentina's doing. Stabilize us there, please. As she takes more EVA reports this time around the moon far side crater. Store that experiments. Board that. Can we get more science? This is near science? No, near in space near the moon. Not good enough. Give her another orbit of the moon. Just for funsies. She is our most experienced Kerbalnaut, so she might as well have a joyride. Yes, mission control. She just missed her window. Alright, so let's start setting up. Let's start setting up a maneuver that'll get us back home. So I believe the moon is heading that way, so we want to go that way. Accelerate here. Out of the moon. We should be captured in Kerbal's orbit. I just want to adjust that so we get as close as possible. 1,000,008 seems to be our best bet, and it's actually coming across in 2 minutes, and that's only a delta V of 282, so that shouldn't be too bad for us to accomplish. Just wait a few seconds. We should be able to do this. And let's see. Just want to exit. Accelerate. 1,006,000. 1,006,000 is better than 1,008,000. And just time warp away. So she's going to be going for one more orbit around Kerbal before she will attempt to capture by passing through the atmosphere. Alright. Point retrograde for us, please, Valentina. So, and throttle up. Periapsis should drop down nicely. Slow down a bit as we get closer. 60, 50. We kind of want something under 20. At 20, thereabouts. That should prevent us from skipping through the atmosphere and back out into space, and we should be captured, and everything should be fine. Well, that amount of fuel was actually pretty good. We only have 25 left. That should help us do some atmospheric acrobatics if we want to. We're trying to aim for Kerbal Space Center if we really must. Little blue marble. Alright, coming in for a landing. Alright, I'm going to ditch these engines right now. Something's going to blow up. Something's going to blow up. Oh, there's a battery pack. That's fine. It's not our parachutes. So no atmospheric acrobatics this time around. I panicked. And that battery pack's going to blow up. Hopefully not damaging anything else. We're streaking across the star. Valentina looks fine by this. Lots of stuff blowing up. Parachute's still intact. That's all we need. I think this is the most we've stressed out our ablator. But we are finally slowing down. And hopefully we're not above mountains or anything like that. Alright, there. And we'll land. Home safe and sound. And while she's in quarantine, we get a whole heck of a lot of science, 400 science that should do us nicely. We've got a bunch of funds Only 800 back, but we now have 600 in our stash. Valentina got more experience. Total reputation of 290. Awesome. Alright, this has been Mobius Rex from Mobius Archives. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, leave us a like. Here's comments and suggestions, and we'll be back with you next time. Have a good day. A wonderful night. Bye-bye.